Welcome to the OC. Ovanova OC. OC. Who's in the waiting room? Luke Wilt is in the waiting room. We got some other folks in the waiting room too. Luke.
Lester.
I can't hear you. Can you talk again?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now, yeah.
Cool. You're looking more like Joe Rogan every day.
Joe Rogan or Seth Rogan?
Seth Rogan, that's what I meant. The other Rogan.
Is it time for me to shave again?
No, I think you just got to let that go out.
Just got to embrace it. Just be Seth Rogan's solar twin.
Exactly right.
Heard how I talk like this, like, hey guys, welcome to the Solar Exploration Seminar, Fundraising. I'm Seth Rogan's evil twin. Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Hi, Danielle, or whoever's on Danielle's. Well, you're tough to see. I see you now. Hi. And we have an APWU Broward. We had 15 folks sign up, but Mondays tend to get crazy and people forget. And so we'll get started right at the top of the hour, like we said we would. Appreciate y'all for being punctual. Looking forward to raising some funds for the things that y'all came to support. Thank you for sharing a Monday afternoon. And we will be done 25 minutes after we start. So this will not take much of your time if you're wondering. Thank you for your attention. So Danielle, we've got 3 minutes to get to know each other before everybody else comes in. What part of the world are you in today? I'll ask you to unmute.
We are in Florida.
Wow. What's the weather like? Is it already perfect or?
About probably 84 or so.
Now, are you in Miami? Did you come from Archimedes School or Archimedean or the 9U or which group did you come from?
9U.
How's the season going?
I think it's pretty good so far.
I haven't asked y'all, any of your members yet. Is there anything specific that you're raising funds for, like a big tournament, or is it just a general fund so for kids to play? Or?
I think it's just for the kids to play. It's for our nephew.
Well, thank you for being a good auntie.
Yeah.
Very kind of you. How's are you zoomed out after COVID, or is it still good to meet strangers online sometimes?
It's still okay. Yeah, we do a lot of schooling online, so we kind of get used to it.
Well, I really have a lot of empathy for all the teachers who have attempted to teach students online. We've had conversations like the ones we're about to have with almost 600 people this spring. So we've given away between $25,000 and $30,000 to good organizations like the 9U teams, and we're wrapping up our fundraising season. But it sure has been fun. But gosh, it's hard to keep people's attention. So if I were a little bit more entertaining, this might be easier. Try not to fall asleep, but I won't be mad if you do. And I'm glad you came. So
okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And Amber's here and Luis is here. Guys, we'll get started exactly at the top of the hour so we can be respectful of everyone's time. But I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to make sure that everybody can see the same things I can. It's been fun, but gosh, it's hard to keep people. That's me. We share all these on YouTube. Thank you for creating the experience with us. That was when you signed up. And there's a picture of our team. Can everybody see the thing with the dinosaur? Then a guy that looks like me with less facial hair, too serious, bow tie man with some sunglasses. That's John. He and I have worked together for 15 years. And we thought Ovanova up about 6 years ago. And we just thought, wouldn't it be fun to take all the money that's being wasted on salespeople and Google ads and just give it to good causes instead when their supporters hop on to learn about something as cool as solar. We think solar is great. But we know that y'all came for fundraisers, so we're going to make that easy. And then Trey helps us. He would just finish the design this weekend. Luke is actually on here with us with the dog. He might have created the design you'll receive if you want one. And then Holly Myers is our fit mom, I believe is her Instagram handle. She normally works over in Kuwait with her husband. And then Chris Snodgrass just graduated from college, and Chris is on here too. He's an engineer. John just hopped on, but since it's 6 o'clock, is it okay with everybody if we just go ahead and start so we can be respectful of your time? Does that work? Thumbs up. Perfect. Well, let's get started. And let me first of all just say thank you for being here and being the kind of human beings willing to share a few minutes of your time to do something good for somebody else. and be willing to learn about something that's good for all the folks on the planet, which is how to make electricity from sunlight. But the way we're going to do this is going to be really easy. We're going to mix introductions because we believe everybody gets to introduce themselves. And that's what the fundraiser is for. If you turn on your camera, unmute yourself, and introduce yourself, that's how you raise $50 for the organization you came to support. And so I'm going to give John ability so you can mute, John. People. Somebody just came in, mute off, it's echoing. There we go. That was Luis. Thank you, Luis. So that'll take 20 minutes. And then if you guys don't ask some questions that are important, we'll take about 5 minutes to make sure there's some basic solar knowledge covered. And then if you want to, we'll talk to you about the next steps. If you like what you hear, we meet with people individually to go over their personal situations. We don't do it in person. We do it all over Zoom to save us time and to save gas and to make it less expensive for y'all to transition to solar if you choose. But tonight's about fundraising, getting to know each other, and getting any basic questions you have answered about solar energy. And at 25 minutes past the hour, I'm going to stop, and there's going to be a hard stop. And I'll give you a chance to either sign up for more information or to stick around and ask as many questions as you would like. I don't have anything for 2 hours, but I want our part to be 25 minutes. So for introductions, if you could say your name, your location, which organization you came to support, and then this weird question. If your best friend won the lottery or came into an inheritance and they became a big environmentalist and they were like, we want to buy you solar panels, what kind of questions would you want to know before you'd allow them to be put on your house? So just kind of like, or just a basic solar question in general that you have. And if you don't have any questions, you can talk about how awesome it is or what you've heard that makes you think it's terrible, but that's just a good way to frame it. So if your friend was going to buy you some solar panels, what would you want to know before you put them on? And so Danielle, since you're already unmuted, would you mind starting out tonight?
Sure. Hi, I'm Danielle, and we're here for our nephew, 9 legacy. And my question would be, my concern is the roof. We're in Florida, and is the roof condition, because we worry about hurricanes and roofs a lot. So solar is concerning with that.
That makes sense. So I think the best way to do this is just take these one at a time, because is anybody else wondering that too? See a couple folks. That's a good question. So if you have a question, a lot of people do as well. I can't speak. I was trying to say red leather, yellow leather a bunch of times before I got on here, but I'm still tongue tied. So Danielle, I'm going to speak to you and just knock this question out as quickly as I can. Number one, have you ever seen any solar panels in your area? Do you see people that have them up?
Not much. No, not really.
Not much. Well, that would create a big problem. Some of y'all probably have, and you can attest to the fact that they're normally still there after hurricanes.
Okay.
But sometimes the hurricane can blow away your entire house. And if it does, you're covered. But
Okay.
your solar panels are attached to the frame of your home in more places than the frame of your home is attached to the rest of your house. Like and I can show you a little video about that later on if you want to see it. But just know that before it can even be installed, it has to pass county code to get the permit to install it. And where you live, it has to be engineered for wind speeds, usually of like 155 miles per hour. And that's part of what we discover in our process together, is how often it would have to be bolted down. So you have homeowners insurance if it all blows away, not more likely to blow away because of how it's engineered. And it's all done according to code and with inspections based on some pictures you'll share with us. So that's a very short version of that. Is that a helpful answer, or not so much?
That's great. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you, Danielle. Who would you like to hear from next? You just raised $50
Hey,
for
Danielle.
the team. Thank
Excuse
you.
me. Hey, so Danielle, did you sign up under another name by chance? I just want to make sure I can mark you to send your donation.
Under Jennifer Stowe or Danielle Crow. We both are together here signing up.
Jennifer.
Do you see us?
Doing it. Luke's eating
Saw you.
45
Sweet.
minutes. All right, you got it.
Thank you.
So Danielle, who do you want to have raise some money next? Congratulations, $50. Well done.
Thank you.
To your relative. So who's next, Danielle? We're playing Duck, Duck, Goose. You get to choose. The goose.
Oh, okay. So somebody off the screen here.
Yeah.
Let me see. I can't see the names. Oops. How about the Teals?
Hi, everyone. How's it going? We're Willie and Evie.
Orozco.
Well, gracias. So where are you? Who'd you come to support? And what would you want to know about solar before you put it up if it were free?
Well, we're here. We're a comedian, and we have explored solar before, but it's been a while, and we want to keep learning more.
Well, thanks for showing up. What made you look into it before?
Interest in renewable energy.
Saving the world.
Thank you for caring about saving the world. I think that some of the parents from your school might be able to do that. We met a calculus teacher at Miami last week. I was like, whoa, there's some smart people with whose kids go to our comedian. So thanks for showing up. Who would y'all like to hear from next?
Maybe Chris?
Sure. Hi, I'm Chris. I'm, I guess, the newest member of Team Ovanova. I graduated about a month ago from the University of Pittsburgh with a biomedical engineering degree, but sort of the projects I've always worked on have kind of all stepped a foot into the renewable energy space. I've done carbon capture stuff, and so solar panels are just the next frontier for me to conquer, and really interested in the science and technology behind saving the world.
Spoken like a true 22-year-old. The next technology for me to conquer. Thank you for being with us, Chris. Who do you want to hear from next?
Let's hear from Micah next.
Hey everyone. Yeah, my name is Micah. I live in Asheville, and I'm a regenerative real estate agent. I just got started in the industry a couple months ago, and I kind of forgot what I was donating to. I think it might have been the Green Belt Alliance. Luke, maybe you can confirm that for me. But there's so many good organizations out here in Nashville. But I've got some other. I've gotten 2 quotes for a house that I just bought in terms of solar panels, and so I have some idea, but I'm also just, early in the process of learning about solar, and I think the roof that I have is well suited for this kind of, for solar. So, but in general, I'm still learning a lot, and yeah.
Thank you for listening to the dogs bark. Appreciate your being in regenerative real estate, and thank you for coming to join us tonight, Micah. We'll figure out who you donated to, and it could be whoever you choose. So who would you like to hear from next? I'm over in Knoxville. I'm like an hour and a half away from you. So.
Oh, nice. Okay, I'll pass the mic to Luis. Luis?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, just keep muting you because it's echoing. Can you turn your volume down just a little bit?
How's that?
That's perfect.
Hi, my name is Luis Merced. I'm from Miami, Florida, and I'm representing Archimedean. And the student there is my granddaughter, Khaleesi Lanzas.
Thanks for being a cool granddad. If your best friend were going to give you solar, what would you want to know before you put it on your roof, Luis?
Well, no, I'm interested in understanding how the entire system is put together, and where would all the battery packs and everything go. I understand about the panels on the roof, but it's more how it's all connected. How much room it's going to take up, and the amount of room that it's going to take up, say in the garage or somewhere.
Well, I did not put my picture in, but I bet John Kerry is going to get on and show you that, maybe even drop it in. Give me a couple of minutes, or actually John's right here. Do you want to give a quick factual answer to that, John? Our typical battery setup, you don't have to have batteries to go solar, by the way, Luis. Did y'all know that you can actually go solar without having batteries?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you just stay connected to the power grid. And during the day, you make more electricity than you need, share it with your neighbors, and then your electricity company lets you have it at night when you need it. It's called net metering. And almost everybody on here, except for the Georgia folks, have that available to you where you live. The only reason to have a battery is for after hurricanes, or the same reason you'd want to have a generator, Or if you live in a place where your electricity company won't let you just give them electricity and then they'll give it back to you later. And so you want to be able to store it yourself. But that's part of our process, is to help you figure that out. Is John, are you on here as far as a technical answer to if they did get batteries, how much space it takes up?
Yes, of course. Hey, everybody, I'm John Gary. I am part of the Ovanova team. I'm in Hillsborough, North Carolina. And that answer is, it depends on how many batteries you get. If you get the standard setup that that we offer, then it's about 40 inside of a case that has a nice, beautiful glass front. And it's like 46 inches tall and about 22 inches wide and about 20 inches deep. So hopefully that was helpful.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's a picture. Those cabinets are where the batteries will go.
That's double the suggested setup. This is like a $500 a month electricity bill type situation.
And Willie was asking whether or not they got to be outside. So the inverters are actually rated to be outside. The batteries do probably need to be inside, just because they're batteries.
Yeah. So that's somebody in Texas who just want to make sure the lights never went out again after that ice storm. But just so y'all know, you don't need batteries. But if you don't have batteries, you won't have power after a storm, because then the extra electricity you're putting back out on the lines could shock somebody who's working on them, trying to put them up. But Luis, we get you to take some pictures so we can help you figure out exactly where those would set, but it's not a heck of a lot of room. So does that answer your question? Or cool, thank you. So Luis is echoing. Who have we not heard from? Jory, you want to go?
Yes, can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, so I am in the bright, sunshiny state of Florida, so definitely could use some solar panels here. And yeah, and I am here for Sun Lake Marching Band High School for Isabella Byland. So just, that's really it.
You just did all it took to raise $50 by introducing yourself.
Yay!
Pretty difficult fundraiser, huh? So,
yeah, high five.
Is there anything have you seen your neighbors with solar where you live? Or is it,
oh yeah.
And then
yeah.
What have you heard about it from people that have already done it? Because you said it'd be good to have in a sunshiny state.
Yeah, of course it's better for the environment, which I love. And it definitely saves costs down the line. I just don't know how much it is. You keep asking everybody what the question is. So my main question is, I want to know how much it is.
How much is it? Well,
that's right.
Here's a rule of thumb. If you take your average electricity bill and you multiply it by 25 years, because that is how long solar panels are warranted for. Now, have any of y'all ever had a car that lasted longer than the warranty? And then you get a call every day about somebody trying to sell you a warranty. I don't know if you guys get those calls or not, but solar panels don't have about 10,000 things a car has. And those are all the things that move. So things that don't move don't break very often. That's how you can have a 25-year warranty on something, even though they last longer than that. Now, that's a lot of words to answer your question as directly as possible, which is it's about half of that to go solar. Like if you just paid cash, it's about half of what your 25-year bill is, but that depends on your situation. So do you have any idea, Jory, how we go about figuring out how many solar panels you would actually need? Because that's what determines how much it costs. Do you know what we do for that?
How much, what I would need for my particular house?
Yeah, like what I just gave you is a rule of thumb. Like it's usually around half of what you would pay for electricity otherwise. The upfront cost is zero, which most people don't know. Did you know that it didn't cost anything up front if you don't want it to?
No.
Yeah, the upfront cost is zero. But do you know what it would take to figure out how much yours would actually cost or how many panels you would need?
I have no idea.
Well, we look at how much. Thank you for being honest. We use this. So when we invite you to hop on to continue exploring in 10 minutes, what we will do is pull up your address, and then we have the sunshine chart that knows where the sun is at 8 o'clock in the morning in June, and it knows where it is at noon in November. It knows how many of these solar panels are receiving light rays, and based on how much light they receive over the course of the year, and weather data is included in here. Like when all of this stuff put together will tell us exactly how much electricity panels would make based on where they're placed on your house. Because have you ever noticed that your southward facing windows get more sun?
Mm-hmm.
So solar panels that are facing south get more sun. So in our designs that we'll create for you, if you'd like for us to, when we get back together, we'll figure out where you want to put your panels and then exactly how much sunlight they will receive, which will tell us how much electricity you can actually make. And then we'll compare that to how much you need to make to figure out how much of your electricity you can make from sunlight. And the number of panels you need to make the amount of electricity you need is what determines how much it costs for you to go solar. At least with us. Some other companies might have some weird way of doing it, but for us, it's totally based on the amount of electricity that you choose to produce. So is that a decent answer to your question, Jory, or was that?
Yeah. Yep, that's good. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then Chris is going to drop a link in the chat for everybody. So if I'm boring you, you already know that you want to dive into your personal situation. You'd like for us to go through this with you and take panels on and off that you want or don't want, put them in different places and see how much electricity you can make. That's part of our service, is to do that for you. But Jory, thanks for raising some funds for something you came to support. And I see we haven't heard from Amber, I don't believe yet, and her wonderful person who's sitting there next to her. Hi, guys.
Hi, my name's Amber. This is my husband, Gustavo. We're near Atlanta, Georgia, and we're supporting Parkview High School Marching Band.
Cool.
And if someone was giving us solar panels for free, my main question would be, how do those hold up during a hailstorm?
Funny you should ask that, because what I have is anecdotal evidence, because I feel that's almost better sometimes. You know, there's a lot of hail in Denver or in Colorado. I'm not sure if y'all know that, but
I did not know that.
They're notorious for hail. And it says, this is this place. Hell no. National Lab solar panels survive severe storm. And it's like, there were 3,000 panels on this building, on or adjacent to the roof. And the post-storm inspection revealed just 1 out of 3,000 were broken. And this was a hailstorm that left destruction. I'm talking about like roof after roof that needed to be replaced. So one of the neat things about it, and most people don't consider this, is that solar panels will actually protect your roof. It's kind of like having a hard hat on it to protect your roof from hail, because the solar panels are tougher. If all of them break, again, you have homeowners insurance. If 1 or 2 of them break, they're really easy to snap on and off like Lego blocks. And we make sure you're covered in a situation like that and can help you send somebody out to do it. And it doesn't take long to replace it. But the coolest thing is you actually get an app. Where's the app? Right here. That shows you at all points of the day, just exactly how much electricity you're making, how much you're sending to the grid, how much your house is using. And have you ever gotten a notification, Amber, from like Facebook or Instagram that said, hey, somebody tagged you in a photo, or like if one of your panels messes up, it will tag you in a photo and say, hey, Amber, there's something up. Call John and Lester. No, that Ovanova guys. And we'll help you walk through it. We had that happen a couple of months ago to one of our friends in North Carolina that we helped go solar. And it turned out it was just some leaves on top of his panels. So he just had to blow them off and he was good to go. But if something is broken, we'll help you fix it. And the dads love that all day long. John always says one of the worst parts about going solar is you could develop an addiction to yet another app that's telling you how much electricity you're making and how much money's falling out of the sky that you're collecting all the time. So does that answer your question?
Yes, that's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. And Georgia, are y'all with Georgia Power?
I think, no, we're with Walton EMC.
Walton. Yeah, you guys, we'll probably end up talking about batteries if y'all want to explore further. Walton doesn't pay you very much for the energy that you share with your neighbors. FPL pays you 100%. But thank y'all for showing up. Who else have we not heard from? My screen is limited now.
Good afternoon. My name is Sandra Munoz.
Hi, Sandra.
Our Comedian Academy. From sunny South Florida. Also, my question would have been about the hurricanes, but since they asked that, I will go to how long is the installation time?
That a lot of it depends on you, and that's just the truth. And the second longest thing that it depends on is your authority having jurisdiction, which means the people that determine whether or not they will give you a permit and connect your system. So the general timeline, if you wanted to hop on right now with John or with Luke, as soon as we're done and go over your design that we've already created for you, then you said, all right, I want to do it. And I have cash, I'll pay you right now. Then that part depends on you. Figuring out where you want to put them depends on you. How do you want to pay for it depends on you. If you financed it, it would take about a week usually for the financing to go through, at least what we use. It's zero down financing, and usually your solar payment's less than your electricity bill. So a fun fact about solar is that you don't need extra money. You don't need to get another job to pay for your solar panels. You just use the money you were sending to the electric company to pay for your solar panels, which is real cool. It's not an added expense. It's a replacement purchase. Just like you don't have to keep paying your cable bill when you cut the cord, you just pay for your apps. The difference is you can actually pay your solar off, just like you can pay your house off, and you can never pay off your electricity bill. So Sandra, this depends on you. We can do this as quickly as you want to. The next part takes 3 weeks to 4 months. A friend of mine in Texas lives in a small town. I think we're going to get his solar up in 3 weeks. If you live in Miami, it might take 6 months because of the permitting. But typically it takes 3 to 4 months from the time you say yes until the time we have the pictures in. We make sure that you like the contractor we've chosen. You have your equipment delivered. The installation only takes 1 to 3 days though. So if you're asking how long are people going to be messing up my house, Sandra, if that was your question about how long does it take, are people going to be okay, then I should have just started there. I'm sorry for talking for so long. But it's about 1 to 3 days. If you get batteries, maybe one more. It's not like putting in a new kitchen where you have people tracking up your house and bothering you all the time. It's a really quick job. The long part's the bureaucratic part. So is that a good enough answer to your question?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Thank you for coming up with a new question after you got your first one answered. We have 2 more minutes.
Lester, I just got back from an install we did, and we had a lot of fun. It did take us 4 days. They did have batteries, but I didn't see the inside of the house until we were completely done, and I was invited in for some coffee. So, we did the whole thing outside. That's something a lot of people don't know about solar installs. So either way.
Yeah, John actually likes to go crawl on roofs so we can know everything about, and then is there anybody we haven't heard from yet? Micah, or I think we heard from Micah, didn't we?
Yeah, you heard from me.
Okay,
I turned my video off.
I see your face now. You're Asheville region.
Yep, Asheville, North Carolina.
I believe the last person is iPhone.
iPhone, you want to turn your video on so we can give a donation to the thing you came to support? We got 1 minute left until I promise I'll be done. Almost. Asked to unmute.
Hi, my name is Jana Gonzalez. I'm a grandmother from Archimedes Academy. My main concern is that I have barrel tiles, and every time that somebody goes up, like we get termites and they gotta go up every 5 years, and they really leave a mess on my roof. I gotta spend a lot of money getting a company to come and fix all the tiles and the leaks that I get.
Yeah. Well, as far as the actual equipment itself, it goes underneath the barrel tile. As far as them messing up your roof, your job
walking on it and not knowing how to do it.
Right. If I can't make any claim for any other organization, but as far as we're going, until every tile is complete and perfect the way you want it, your job is not complete.
Okay.
So
okay.
John actually cleaned out the gutters of the people that he went to install solar for today. We care about doing a great job because we know it's your home, and we know that we were invited in through organizations you trust. So I told y'all at 25 minutes afterwards I would stop, but I'm not in a hurry. I do think there's probably one thing that everybody ought to know, or like 4 things everybody ought to know about solar.
Lester,
one, the government will give.
Before you move on, can I butt in one more time?
Yeah, John. Go ahead.
Thanks. Well, I just, you mentioned termite damage and having people on your roof. That's why.
No. My damage is not because of the termite. I like to put the tent up, and when they go up on the roof, they break some tiles.
Correct.
My roof is not damaged. The termites is another thing.
Sorry, I might have said, what I meant to say is the people that were there to correct the termite damage are the ones that damaged your roof.
Yes.
Exactly. So when people go solar with us, we hire electricians and roofers, not solar companies.
Okay.
So that way, because roofers know how to be on a tile roof.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah, and electricians know how to tie wires together properly so things don't burn.
Yeah.
So just to be clear, the termite people, they're the ones breaking the roof. Roofers would do a great job up there.
Yeah, they break up the roof. The thing is that you sign a waiver that if something happens to the tiles, there's nothing you could do. So you're stuck with that, fixing whatever damage they do. But we don't do this very often. It gets done like from 5 to 10 years. But still, is concerning.
Absolutely. And I can't tell you that we won't send somebody out that messes something up, but I can tell you that it'll be fixed or they won't be paid. Okay. And then we'll pay somebody else to fix it. So
okay. Yeah.
So
okay.
Thank you. So it's 25 past hour. Chris, I don't even have my chat box up, but here's 4 things as we're going through this. If you want to, if what you heard sounds like, oh, that's pretty cool, solar's kind of neater than I thought it was, we'd love to get back on a Zoom with you and look at your house, figure out exactly how much electricity you need to make.
Please.
And Chris is going to drop a link in there to do it. And while I'm giving you all a chance to find it or ask any questions you have or any other questions you have at all, I'm not going anywhere, but our part is over. But 4 things that I would want my mom to know is the government will pay for 26% of your system. That includes the installation. It includes the warranties. It includes everything. Like it's the full cost, including a roof if you need a new roof. The part that the solar goes under or goes on top of, we had an accountant say counts for the tax credit. So that's news to a lot of people as they don't know that. And it's a tax credit. So you have to have the tax liability, but it's usually a significant $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 credit that you get to keep. Does anybody, while we're talking about it, does anybody know why the government would give us a tax credit? This was created during the Obama administration and extended during the Trump administration. So it's kind of above political stuff. Why do you think the government would actually help us pay for taxes by allowing us to not pay them our taxes? That's kind of a stupid question. Nobody wants to talk about it. All right, forget I asked that. It was a good question last week. I think I phrased it wrong. You'll increase the value of your property by going solar. You can start using solar without paying a dime to design, install, and activate your system. That's legit. It's just like an iPhone, where you walk in the iPhone store and you walk out of the iPhone store and you don't give them a dime, but you have an iPhone and then you pay them monthly. You can do the same thing with solar. You can have it installed, put on your roof, activated and working before you pay for it. So, and then the coolest part is that you can pay it off using savings from your electricity bill. I said this really briefly earlier, but one of the best things about solar is that you don't need to get an extra job to pay for it. You just redirect the money that was going to rent towards a mortgage. Y'all are homeowners. You understand the value of having a mortgage instead of renting. And so this is just an opportunity to own your electricity instead of rent your electricity. We're all going to use electricity. It's just as reliable. And I've got about 10,000 slides I could show y'all from different ways you could do it. You don't even have to have it on your house nowadays if you don't want to funny slides about how we don't carry all this junk around anymore. So why do we carry all that junk around to make our electricity? But what I found is that if I talk too long, it keeps people from wanting to come back and visit again. So I'm just going to take a second and let anybody who wants to click the chat and find a time to get back together with us so we can zoom in on your lighthouse, and we'll tell you exactly how much it is. We'll show you every dime for the project, and then I'm going to be quiet while y'all are signing up and answer any more questions that y'all have, or tell me something else you'd like to see while you got me here. I've got an hour and a half. Thanks for creating a fun experience for everybody. I want to get some water real quick while y'all are signing up. You can ask John if you're having trouble signing up. I'll be back.
So Willie, you said you were willing to stay and hear more. What kind of questions did you have? Or what do you want to hear more about?
No, in general, just keep learning about
it. That's a cool way to be.
Well, you've probably got one of the smartest solar nerds I've ever met on here in John Kerry. So what's like an out of the box question? You got any?
So okay, so the incentive, that 26%, that's federal?
Correct. So if you move to another state, you still have it.
Okay, good.
Yes. You guys know why the Photon didn't pack a bag when it went to the airport?
A photon?
Yeah, a Photon. PHOT.
Yeah.
It was traveling light.
Ah.
Did you hear about the law they passed in Hawaii about where you can't laugh over a certain volume? Now, if you want to laugh, you have to use a low ha. Such a stupid dad joke.
Here's a super nerdy one. Solar panels don't like it when it's hot. And this isn't a joke. This is true science about solar panels. It's not the heat from the sun. It's the light that produces the electricity.
Photons, right?
Yep, photons. That's why I told that joke. I was setting up the nerdy fact. Yeah, there you go. He's sharp. So yeah, exactly. The hotter it gets, the less efficient the panels are. So you'll produce more electricity on a 20-degree clear day than you will a 100-degree clear day.
Wow.
But on a 100-degree clear day, you usually have a whole lot of sunshine that kind of makes up for it. And so here's something I didn't show y'all while you're registering, is this is an example of a curve of when you're making your solar electricity compared to the lines that show you what you're using each month. What most people don't realize is it's kind of like rollover minutes. So some months you make more than you use.
That's what we do, right?
And then you get credits. And then you trade them in during the times you're not making enough. Here's an example of a real bill. It's one of our friends who spent $93 a month on electricity at night. He made all that he needed during the day, plus $107 more. So at the end of the month, his electric company owed him $15.26.
But that's a credit, right? Because my understanding is that they pay you less of what they charge to the customer.
Who's your utility?
FPL.
No, FPL pays you 100%
really
of what you use. So you have an entire year to use it up. But what you might have heard that is true is at the end of the year, if you made more than you needed for the whole year and you have some left over, that's when they only pay you wholesale for it. Now, there are some utility companies in Texas and Wisconsin and Maryland that will pay you the full amount even for what you overproduce, but those are very, very rare. Some places they won't pay you full price even for what you use. They only give you a partial credit. FPL is great. Like it's crazy. You only have to pay them. What's the fee? $8, $14 FPL?
$8.35.
$8.35. So you stay connected. When you go solar, you stay connected to FPL. So that way they can keep track of how much they have to pay you on your bill. And then when you trade those credits in, this is that bill. The next month he owed $41, then he owed $24. But because he didn't get his solar installed until October, he didn't have those spring months to build up credits. So when that ice storm came in Texas, he used up all of his credits because it got really cold. And then he owed $37 to them. And then in April, they owed him $53, and then they owed him $80. And so if he'd had these last year, it would have paid for those bills as well. But because he missed them last year, it's like a 1 year to use your credits, depending on where you live. But that's how it works. Like some months you make more than you need. So FPL is like, no problem. Some months you need more than you make. So FPL is like, here you go. It's kind of like owning chickens. If you own chickens and your chickens lay all the eggs you need, it's not like the grocery store is going to be mad if you need to come buy just a few eggs sometimes, So if you still need to buy a few, it's nice to know that they're there, in case everybody comes into town for a birthday and you're trying to have a party. But good thoughts. I'm just showing y'all things. Anybody have it? Did y'all? Sometimes people have a hard time finding that link. Chris, did you even put it in before I walked away, or was I saying that you were doing something that you hadn't even done?
I've put it in every time you've asked. Yes.
Oh,
cool. You just put it in again.
Times.
Yeah. So just to be clear, what you're being invited to is a chance to zoom in on your design with one of us friendly people on a Zoom, so you can hang up on us at any point you want to. Then we can create different.
Question.
Yeah.
Okay, so we already signed up for Saturday. I put my address, I put the consumption and like the highest consumption month last year and the lowest. Is there anything else that I can give you so you guys can actually show us like some sort of plan? Like what else, what other info do you need?
John?
Well, we've already created a plan for you based on the number that you put in when you registered. So we have a design. If you want it to be perfect, then you wouldn't take your highest month and your lowest month and average them. You would just either call FPL or log into your online portal and find out your last 12 months kilowatt hour usage. And that will allow us to get exactly how many solar panels you need. And you may go, you know what, guys? I don't want the exact amount that I need. I want to produce 110% because I want to keep my house a little cooler, knowing that I'm going to be keeping it cold with sunshine. Whatever. We can show you exactly how many solar panels you need to get rid of your entire electricity bill, minus that customer charge, which, sorry, it's $8.34, not $8.35. I just looked because I thought I was off, but yeah. So yes, you can get rid of 100% of that. If you knew you're going to get an electric vehicle, then that's when we might give you 115%, and we can do some calculations to go, well, Willie's going to drive, this many miles to work every day, and he's going to be driving a Tesla, and so it costs this much electricity in order to drive a Tesla a mile. So we need to produce this many extra kilowatt hours in a year. So we need to give him 111% offset, so he's not paying for his new gas station is the roof of his house.
Nice.
Yeah, I got you.
No fuel crisis affecting Willie and the Teals.
All right, I'm stepping out. Thank you so much for your time, and we're looking forward for Saturday.
Can't wait to see you. We'll zoom in on your house and we'll click them on or off and see how much electricity it makes and doesn't, and it'll be fun. But looking forward to seeing you on Saturday. I always like it when people book on Saturday, and it's always a bummer when they don't show up. You don't have any wild plans, do you, that would keep you from showing up on Saturday? Cool.
We'll be here.
We'll see y'all then. Thanks, guys.
We'll be here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Sandra, are you still here, or did you have to hop off? Are you
I'm
being
still
shy?
here. Yeah, no, I don't have any other questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you. How'd we do?
You did great. It was very informative.
Did you learn anything new tonight? Like, was that news that you didn't have to pay up front for solar, or?
It was news. Yes, I didn't know that.
What about the tax credit?
I did know about the tax credit. The tax credit, I had heard about it, but I didn't know that you didn't have to pay up front.
Wow.
And it was good to hear, the price range on what it would, estimate a cost on it.
Yeah, and the good news is we'll send you, like, we already created it for you. I just forgot to ask people to raise their hands tonight, guys. Sorry, Chris, but is it all right if we email you what we created for you so you can see what your actual numbers would be based on the usage you shared with us when you signed up?
Absolutely, that would be great. Thank
Cool.
you.
Yeah, thanks, Edger. Looking forward to seeing you if you book a time to get back in touch with us. Have a good evening.
You too. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yay.
The Teals signed on with Happy Tuesday.
I know. It was cool.
And they said the Archimedean school's in the house.
Yeah, cool people.
Oh,
Hey, so we haven't gotten a straight answer for setbacks yet for Miami.
Yeah, we need to figure that out. That's like a huge priority.
Because even building in open solar is like the setbacks aren't always exact. So that's the one thing that's going to determine how much the teals can produce. So that's why I was thinking about it.
We have until Saturday to figure it out. Right, but
Well,
we
yeah.
can know their exact AHJ. We could probably call solar companies around there and ask.
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody that I've talked to has just said it's not enforced. Like I called the building, like I emailed the building inspector. He said it's not enforced.
It makes the most sense to me because it's not a building code thing, it's a fire code thing. And the fire marshal can enforce it, but is the fire marshal going to go around looking at things? Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes they do. Well, that's a little bit better, but I just like to keep it short. If I can't do anything else right, it could have been better, but it didn't work as well as it did last time when we did the questions at the beginning, did it, Chris? People had better questions last time.
Yeah, I think your question was very kind of hard to grasp your head around. I don't know. I think it had too many parts.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like if you had a friend who had a lot of money who was then going to buy you solar, what questions would you have? It took people a lot to be like, okay, what? Like,
We'll call it a rapid fire round, like quick questions.
A genie's giving you solar. What do you want to know first?
Cool. We'll try it again at 8. It'll be better.
Good.
So we probably, so we just talked to 2 installers today who are coming to check out. So we'll have one showing up tonight at 8 if he shows up, and tomorrow at 6, Andres will be there. And both of them seem like they would want to use the fundraising service where they live, but we need to reframe it for them if we're going to let them do it with the 25 and 25. Or we don't even tell them about the second 25, but we told them 50 today. So either way, just throwing that out there, it's going to be hard to say $25. We just let, just as we move forward, $25, and then they'll just be a better, another $25 option that even people that are finding out about our service don't know about.
I asked a lady about it last week, and she said that she liked it. It's like either one would be fine.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, I did it today. We both did it as a team today, where we're setting up $50 fundraisers in the future as opposed to 25.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you're looking for a way to.
Just trying to remember. We've been doing it for so long that it's just something we have to stay vigilant of as a team when we're bringing it up. Putting a $25, to get $25 just for 25 minutes.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
That's why I'm practicing doing 25 minutes, is because of the 25 for 25. It's like I can't do it well in 25 if I don't practice doing it in 25. It's like forcing yourself to get out of a house. You'll get better and better. That's just the first one of the week, usually a little bit sloppy. But I liked it. We got some good folks showing up on Saturday to meet with. Let's find out what their setbacks are, and I'll see y'all at 8 o'clock.
Cool.
Thanks for being on the Ovanova Solar Exploration Experience channel.
I might not be on at 8. I'll just have to see how things
What?
fall.
You're fine.